Okay, now we're going to talk about reseller hosting. I've put a link in the resources document that'll tell you the recommended place to go to get reseller hosting. Now, reseller hosting, once it's all set up, what's going to happen is they're going to send you an email telling you that you need to point your domain name at a certain name server, and then they'll give you access to this. Now, pointing a domain at a name server is quite simple. All you have to do is log into where your domain is. Okay, so as an example, I'm using GoDaddy for my reseller hosting. This is my domain name here. And what you do, first of all, you have to set up your name servers. And all you have to do is click on name servers and then change them to the ones that the reseller hosting provider told you to do. The other thing you have to do is set up the other part of it, the name servers for the hosting of your other domains. So if we roll down here, you see host summary. What you want to do is click add here, and I'll just edit one because I don't really want to add one. Well, we'll just add. Let's cancel it. You click add, and then you're going to have to put in your name servers, and they're usually going to tell you need NS1 and NS2. You're going to need at least two. They may give you more than that. So what you do here on our host name is put NS1 or NS2 or whatever they tell you. Okay, and then under host IP, they'll give you a number, 75 dot whatever. There's going to be a whole bunch of a string of numbers with dots between. That's what you put in there. Okay, as an example, if we go and edit this one, just to look, here's a live one here. Now this is a live one. So I got NS1, and then this is fixed here, and then they give you the host IP address. You just key that in. So that's all there is to setting that up. You just save it and it's done. Now I kind of went faster. These instructions is pretty simple, and you will get instructions from the provider of the reseller hosting account as to how to do that. They'll also give you an address that you can go to get into your WHM panel. Okay, so this is the reseller hosting, and this is where you can control everything. So when you are going to add a new customer, first you're going to have to go buy them a domain that they want, and then you set the name servers to your reseller hosting account. And again, in the email you get from the reseller hosting provider, they're going to tell you what you need to set your name servers to. Once you've done that, and it'll be the same as the ones that you put in the NS1 name servers down there. If you did that, some hosting acquirers don't allow private label name servers, so that step may not happen depending on which provider you use. Okay, so what you're going to do at this point is you're going to create a new account. And from here, all you do is put in the domain name of your new customer, give them a username, set up a password, put in an email address for them here, and then sometimes, depending on the provider, you may or may not have to select a package. If you leave it blank, it'll just go to the default one. And then that's really all you have to do. Just click create, and it's going to create their account. From there, it's just like any other cPanel account. You'll type in their domain name /cPanel, and then you'll use this username and password, and that's what you'll give them to get into their cPanel if you're giving them access. So make sure you save this information. Okay, so once you have that, you'll be able to go into their cPanel and have control over their account, and then you can transfer the blog over to their site or their website. So let's look at how to do that part. What we're going to have to do is go to our control panel for the site we just created, and we need to do two things. What we need to do is go to MySQL databases, And then you need to go to the phpMyAdmin. Now, depending on the control panel, it may be located somewhere on the main page rather than in behind here. But you want to find phpMyAdmin, and then you're going to find the WordPress that you just installed, which is this one. And then what you can do, and you can look at it and make sure, if you just click on, where can we look here? If we look on options, just click here. Okay, so we know this is the right one because we can see the URL and the name here. So let's just back up. So what we want to do now is we want to export. So click export. And then from here, just down at the bottom, just click where it says save as file. And click go. Okay, download this to a folder or to your desktop because you're going to need to upload this onto your new server. Okay, so we're going to download it. We'll just download it into our dentist thing here. There's our SQL database that contains all of our data. The next thing we need to do is go over to FileZilla, and we need to download the whole thing. So go to FileZilla. Okay, so we want to download the entire folder, which we put it in Canyon Dental Center, so we are going to want to download that. So actually we'll find it down on this bottom part. We do Canyon Dental Center, pick it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put it, again, we'll put it into our dental theme over here. So we right click on this one and we click download. Okay, this is going to send the files from our server down to our local computer. So wait for that to get down, and then we're going to go to the new location where we're going to upload it on the new domain, and we're going to upload all of this to there, and then upload the database and hook everything together. It's not as difficult as it sounds. Okay, so at this point everything has been downloaded to our computer from the server. And it's in that folder. Now what we're going to do is we're going to re-upload it. Now I have a domain that I already have called bigboyslovetoys.com. It doesn't really fit with what we're doing, but I already have the domain, so we're going to use this. So what we need to do now is we're going to need to save the database. So go down to MySQL databases. And then we need to create a database. Oh, got to put a name in there first. So let's create a database here. And we'll call it dentist. Click create database. Now we'll go back. Now we need to create a username and password. Oh, that's not in the right spot there. Get rid of that. Username and password goes down here. So let's just use dentist again. And then in password we'll use dentist PW. Now we're going to have to remember this because we're going to need this in a little bit. So we'll create this. We'll go back. Actually, let's open Notepad, and we better save our password here because it's the only thing we can't retrieve later. Okay, now let's go back here. Up here we have the database name, and you can see it's appended by some characters. Down here we're going to need to attach the user to the database. You just pick them out of the drop-down list. Now there is only one in the drop-down list in each case here, as you can see. So make sure that all permissions is selected over here, and then click Add User to Database. Go back. Okay, now our database is all set up. Now what we've got to do is go to phpMyAdmin, and we're going to import the data into the database that we saved. Okay, so as you can see, there's nothing in this database. So what we're going to do is import, browse for the file, and it's this SQL file that you see up there. Okay, and just click Go. This will import the data into our new database, and as you can see, it's imported the tables. So let's click on Options, and we can have a look at what it brought in. Okay, let's go to Browse. And now, as you can see here, the site URL is our old site URL. Now that we're going to have to change. A couple things in here we're going to have to change to make things work. Okay, so first we're going to have to change this site URL. And what we want to put here is our new URL. So this is going to be http bigboyslovetoys.com. So put that in there. And we'll click Go. Okay. And then just look through here and see if there's anything else we need to change. Now we'll probably want to change this email address to something, but we can do that from within. There are a couple things we need to change here. Otherwise, we won't even be able to get into the admin area. Okay, so here it is again, the home page. So let's edit. We have the same thing again, so put our new URL in there. Click Go. Okay. Okay, down here we have the path. This we're going to have to change as well, and we can find that by going back to our control panel, going to Home. Then what you want to do is go to FTP Manager, of all places. And then we want to go to FTP Accounts. Click Add FTP Account. And then copy this directory here. Okay, and then go back over here. Okay, so what we want to do is replace everything up to where the main domain was. So this was the main domain. It was public HTML, and the folder it was in was Canyon Dental Center. So right up to there, we want to replace. We want to leave the WP content / uploads at the other end. So let's do that. Okay, so that's correct now. Okay, let's go to the next page here. And just go through and see if there's any more things that need to be changed. I don't think there's anything after that, but we'll just make sure here. Okay, I believe that's it. Now we need to make a change to the stuff that we downloaded here. So let's go back to what we just downloaded. We downloaded this folder, Canyon Dental Center. The only thing we need to change in here is the config file. So this file, wp-config.php, we need to open this with Notepad. And what we're going to change in here is the username and database names. That's all we have to change. Okay, so let's go back. Go back to our MySQL databases. Okay, this is our database name. So copy that whole string. Then go back to our WP config here. Find where it says the database name. So DB name right here. Just overwrite what's there now. just paste the new one in there. Username, in this case it's the same, but still copy it from the user area here and then go back, change the username, now this is the password here. We save that in Notepad, so grab that and copy it and then paste it in here. That's it. Okay, now all we have to do is upload this again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our FTP program and we're going to set up Big Boys Love Toys or whatever it is here. You put your host name and the username and password you assigned, or you can put it within the within the site manager up here. Okay, so here we are, bigboyslovetoys.com. Go to where your web documents are supposed to go. This server is public under HTML, and that's where most of them are going to have to go. Okay, and your hosting provider for your reseller account will have told you what it is, and it's most of the time this is going to be what it is. So this is where it's going to go, and what we have to do is go inside this folder, and then what we have to do is do a select all. You can unselect the CGI bin. Other than that, everything else goes up. Click upload, and once that's finished, everything's done. This is going to take a while to upload, and once it's up, we'll try and sign in. Okay, so everything is uploaded successfully. So now that we have changed everything that we need to change, upload everything we need to upload, let's just bring up the site and see if it comes up. So around bigboyslovetoys.com, site came up properly. So everything has been moved. Just click a couple of links, make sure that everything is working properly. And indeed it is. Good. Okay, so that's it. That is how you can transfer your new customer site over to their own domain on your reseller account. Okay, now we're going to talk about an alternative way that you can create sites for your potential customers. And we'll do that on the next video.